host of the Gridiron.
Let's go to the offensive grades after the Deutschland debacle. Interestingly, of course, I did this before. I've talked about this with Evan Neal. I mean, being the number one, getting the highest score from PFF on the Giants' offensive side. Wow. Huh? Go figure. All right, so let me share. Let's go back to this here. I got to pop this up here. It changes around. All right, so let's go smaller. Let's see, by team. Okay, we got that. This one here. All right, so let's go to Panthers and we'll go to game reports here. And we'll go to offense. Here we go. All right. Now, what you like to say, which was nice too, right? I mean, one respect, right, is that a bunch of the highest rated guys were on the offensive line here. If you see it, right? You got Evan Neal. Right, the top four guys, even Michael Schmitz Jr. That's great to see him up here. Really, really good to see him up there. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but you got what? What do we got? Actually, all the top guys were all on the offensive line because even Manhurts, he's in there more for blocking purposes, right? So you figure the top six guys were pretty much on the offensive line as far as grades. So nice to see that. But once again, we also the Carolina does not have, we're not talking the steel curtain, doomsday, purple people eaters, fearsome force. We're not talking that, right? I mean, the Carolina, they don't have they had Burns and they let him go, right? So, I mean, they Clowney, they got a couple guys there, but I mean, they're not, that's not one of their strong suits, shall we say. They don't have much as far as strong suits of anything, but it didn't matter because they beat the Giants. So you got to tip your cap to the Panthers, that's for sure. But Evan Neal, 75 snaps, graded out of 80, but his run blocking 93.4. Like, you could almost kind of tell, and he made like an emphasis of it, and which is nice to see. He was out there moving people. When when he wasn't in pass blocking, when he was able to attack, he was attacking, and he's just so big and strong. If he gets his paws on you, right, it's lights out, right? And you see, it's 93.4. Holy cow. He did have some issues, with the pass blocking. Once again, he just seems to have issues with, athletic guys. He has a hard time. I would really love to see what the guy can do, right? Van Roten, we have him for 1 year. Let's see what Evan Neal can do next year. Put him in at right guard. If we can bring Illuminor back at right tackle. We got Andrew Thomas at left tackle. Let's put Evan Neal in at right guard and see what he can do. Let's put Evan Neal next to John Michael Schmitz and see what these guys can do, right? But Van Roten had a good game, 76.7. His pass block at 84. Jermaine Illuminor, obviously all 75 snaps, 74.9. His run blocking was really good. Michael Schmitz had a solid game, very solid game. Look here, 74.8, but his pass block at 72, and his run block was at 73. Very good game. Chris Manhurts was in there for just 25 snaps, but graded out of 71. And then John Runyon Jr., so all 75 snaps, graded out of 69, 75.7, and 64.1 run blocking. So very, very good, solid numbers. Fantastic job by the offensive line here. You see numbers like this and you kind of figure, well, we should have got the W. But, alas, you'd be wrong, right? We got Malik Neighbors, was in there for 66 snaps. He missed, 9 snaps, but graded out of 68. Now, of course, there were times he was open. One time, I'm thinking of, one time the ball got airmailed over his head. Another time he was wide open on a flea flicker, which the ball didn't get thrown. So you're kind of wondering if he caught some of those passes, if that would have helped us score at all. You don't know. But Devin Singletary was in there for 17 snaps. We had a 66.8. Daniel Jones, 65.7. Theo Johnson, 69 snaps. Guys getting a lot of snaps. That's good. That's good. Let's see what we got. 64.2. Jalen Hyatt was in there for 55 snaps. What do you have? I think four receptions. Yeah, 4. Because I think Malik had 6, Wandale had 5, and I think Hyatt had 4. So, of course, Wandale Robinson, right? So Hyatt was a 63.6, 62.8 was Wandale. Now, obviously, what pulled Jalen down a little bit apparently was his run blocking. He agreed that at 37 here. All right, so. But you also notice here, too, you see there was a penalty called on Wandale and there was a penalty called on Daniel Jones, but none of them were accepted. So the offense had a nice, clean game. As far as penalties, not turnovers. Because we had 3 very costly turnovers. But Joshua Zuda was in there for one snap, graded out of 60. Eric Wright, 2 snaps, 59.7. Daniel Bellinger, his snaps have really plummeted, boy. I'll tell you, since his rookie season. I mean, last year you can see where his snaps were going to take a step backwards, right, because of Waller being there. But now Waller's gone. You'd figure Bellinger would step in, but no. I'll tell you, they got they got Theo. Theo was 69 out of the 75 snaps Theo was on the field for. So Daniel Bellinger was 59.6. Isaiah Hodgins was in there for 23 snaps. He ran out of 55. I think he had 1 catch. And then Tyrone Tracy, 60 snaps, 49.3. His passing, I was at 25.3. That I'm sure that really pulled him down. His run blocking wasn't too bad. His running wasn't too bad, 61.2. Now obviously the 25.3. And of course, he's the one that missed the pass, which wasn't a fantastic pass by Daniel Jones. It looked like it was a little behind Tyrone Tracy Jr. instead of in front of him. But Tyrone got his hands on the ball, should have brought the ball in and said that was one of the ones that got picked off. Now, if the ball just got knocked down to the ground, right, and the Giants didn't gain another yard, possibly we tried Graham Gano out onto the field, right? And he kicks a field goal, and then quite possibly we maybe don't go into overtime, and the Giants wind up winning the game, right? But it is what it is. I mean, just one of those things. It's just you go back. It's you just, at the end of the season, you just turn around. You look back at each game, and it's like, it's probably at least 4 or 5 games here the Giants could have won. I mean, you just take 2, and you just take, 2. Yeah, take 2. Just take 2 of those games that the Giants could have won. Now they're 4-6, still not fantastic, but we don't have a real hard schedule toward the end here. We got some winnable games. Not saying we would make a playoff push, but you can certainly see where we would get more wins than we had last year, without question. I mean, but what is? There's no do-overs. There's no mulligans. There's no takesy-backsies or nothing like that. Once the play is in the books, it's in the books. There's nothing you can do about it. So Giants moving forward and next season and all that stuff have to find ways to win these close games. And until they find ways of pulling out these close games, they're going to continue to be in the cellar. So.